Okay, well, we're going to get started because I want to maximize our time together. And if you have been to one of my workshops before, you know I love to be practical action. So grab yourself a pen and paper because I want you to participate with me. This is not just me talking at you. I really want you to leave with a true blueprint for your summer. Like that's the goal of this workshop is I want you guys to have a summer of profit and fun. So that's our intention for this workshop. And I'm going to have some resources for you at the end of it that's available that you can choose to get into your space and all kinds of, we're going to just have fun. So I am excited to dive in. I'm going to share my screen here and let's go here. First of all, I'm getting set up here, can you guys put in the chat what you do and where you like to be followed? Because one of the things I do like to do on these calls is make sure that you have an opportunity to expand your business and find new people to follow, new amazing women, which I know a lot of you in the room already. So you guys definitely need to be following each other if you're not already. And let's see, here we go. Let's see if we can get the screen to share. Okay, so we're going to dive right in with first thing I want to do is really establish what's happened so far in 2025 and what do you want for the summer? Because again, is there any changes that you want from this summer? I don't know if you have some vacation plans, maybe a shift in how much time you're working during the week. So we're going to go through all of that first because that will help us know what our goals are and what we're targeting for this summer. So we're going to start with that. Right here, we're going to go into, get this pen going. We're going to go into our time first. So what has 2025 been for you so far this year? We're going to do a red, yellow, green system here just to kind of give a quick temperature check is what I'll call it on how you're feeling about your time in your business. How much time have you been working on average and are you overworking? How do you feel about it? Would you rate it on a green? I've been doing pretty good at not working too much. I don't feel like I'm stretched thin with my time. I'm feeling pretty good about how I'm working and showing up. It's pretty overall like reasonable amount of hours. Or are you on the red zone of like, I never have enough time. I feel like I'm running around with a chicken with my head cut off and my to-do list never ends. So where are you at? Red, yellow, green. Drop it in the chat. Manage chaos down. I love it. You're always honest. I love you so much. So would you rate it as a red, yellow, or green there then with the managed chaos? Heather's on a yellow. Anyone else want to share where you're at with your time? Donna, you're on red. Anyone else feeling about their time? Red, yellow, green? Sometimes I hear people like, I'm in the orange zone. I'm a little bit in between both. And I totally accept that. I get that. And sometimes we flex between the two. So I'm just going to say for now, we're kind of semi in the red zone here. What about the highlighter? So if we're in the red zone, maybe for time right now. So what about with energy? So how has your energy been for the first part of 2025? If you write it red, yellow, green, energy meaning I sit down on my computer and when I start working on my business or when I'm talking to people, I am like lit up green. This feels great. I feel a lot of clarity, openness. I'm excited to work in my business. I don't feel a lot of pressure or green. That's green. Red would be I am overwhelmed. I am exhausted. Oh, Megan, I'm sorry, your energy is through up. I love it. Well, I'm glad you're here. And it was my error with the snafu with the link. So you're not even late. We just started. So how is everyone feeling about your energy? Heather, you're on green. I love seeing that. Donna, you're very excited. You're on green. Anyone else have a different state of where you're at with your energy? How you're feeling? Like, are you feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, exhausted? Maybe you're feeling burnt out at this point. We're 5 months in here. Maybe you're just feeling like you're spinning your wheels. Okay, Cassie, you're yellow. I love that. Thank you for sharing. So if we are feeling that, mark your energy to where you are right now. And then the next one we're going to go to is our income. Where are we feeling with our income? You don't have to give me a specific number, but with making money this year in your business, how is it going? Is it Red, yellow, or green? Green meaning I'm making cash. I definitely know I want more. That's why I'm here. But I'm feeling like I have the momentum. Red would be I am stalled out and I'm definitely not anywhere close to my cash goals. I really want to increase that. And yellow would be somewhere in between those two. So I'm seeing two yellows. Anyone else? Um, Brenda, you landed a client. That's amazing. So congrats. Megan, income is green. Amazing. But you did, that's awesome. I'm so excited for you. And Donna, you want it to be a deeper shade of green. Okay, love it. So we're going to just mark this one as a yellow and a green. I'm loving that you guys already are trying, like, let's do more. I love that. And then the last measurement that I love to talk about is fulfillment. How are you doing with like your business giving you that fulfillment? As women entrepreneurs, most of us are like in the zone of we are passionate about our business and we find a lot of fulfillment coming from getting to do what we love and what we're passionate about and what we're good at. So how are you feeling about fulfillment? Like my business is great. When I get to serve my clients, when I get to do what I'm called to do, it is just everything to me. That would be on green. Or red could be like, I'm not finding as much fulfillment from what I'm doing anymore. And I'd love to shift that around. Cassie, you're in yellow. Okay. Appreciate that. I appreciate that honesty. It means improvement. You're on orange. Okay. All right. Thank you. As of today, Megan, you're on green. Okay. I love it. And it can change day to day. I totally get that. So maybe we'll put that one on yellow. Let's go here. Okay, so we can kind of see where we are. And the goal of this exercise was to really identify where we are. And then we're going to go with where do we want to go? So for this summer, what would you like your summer to be like in time, energy, income, and fulfillment? And this one, I'm going to ask for more specific numbers. So is your business going to change in hours? And how many hours would you like to be working this summer per week? Let's go per week right now. So how many hours would you like to be working this summer every week? Can you put a number for me in the chat? Heather, you want 20. Awesome. Anyone else have a different number than 20? I know 20 seems to be a lot of my people. Cassie, you want 40? Okay, I see that. Anyone else have a different number? Brenda, you're gonna be able to be working more this summer because of the new client. Okay, can you identify how much time that might look like for you? And do we know like approximately what that would be? Because I'm going to use that number in our conversation in the next part of the workshop. So if you have that in mind, if you don't, that's totally fine too. So I'm going to put down 25 hours because that's my goal for this summer is 25-ish hours. And I like the ish part, but the 25-ish. Megan, you're on 15 hours, 4 on clients, 11 behind the scenes. Love that. That's beautiful breakdown. Okay, so Donna, you're working 40 plus, but you want to carve out time for flower power, which you reached five times. Okay, cool. I love it. I'm excited for that. All right, and then let's move on to energy. This summer, what do you want for your energy to look like? Do you want it to be relaxed, fun, memory making? What would you like for your business to be in your energy? I like fun and ease. Those are words that I love for the summer is I want it to be really relaxed. I want it to be fun. I want it to be full of ease with what I'm doing in my business. I don't want to be stressed and exhausted. I really want a lot of memories on both my business and my family. So can you put a word in there or maybe a phrase? I love that. Donna, fun, productive with high fulfillment. So good. So put fun and productive in that column up here. Megan, I want to go to the pool with the kids with once a week, festivals, concerts once a month, actually take a nap and lunch break. I love it. That's awesome. Yeah. So put down your words that you want. So like you want rest. It sounds like a little bit of rest, Megan, and fun. That's perfect. Maximizing non-work time, purposeful and fun and ease. Okay, so we're gonna put fun and ease here. That seems to be a theme. Okay, and then for income, how much are we wanting to make during the summer? Are you wanting to maintain income? Do you want to increase income? Do you like where is it? Or do you have goals that you're saying, hey, I would like to by the end of the summer be increasing my income? Okay, I see increase immediately. I love that fast comment. So do we have a number? And you can give me one or two numbers. Either I want to increase it by, let's say you want to increase by 5,000, tell me 5,000, increase 5,000, or maybe you say, hey, I just want to hit my first 10K months, or I want to hit 15K or 9K, whatever that number is. There's no right or wrong number here. Heather, you want 8K a month? Love that. I love the specific numbers. You haven't had time to set income goals. Okay, no, that's fair. So I would love for you, Donna, to identify that. That will be really helpful for you with planning out your summer. Cassie, 5K month, love it. Megan, you're currently 7K. You made a plan for 12K month. I love it. Yes, so perfect. So I'm just gonna put here a placeholder of 10K, but whatever that number is, I want you to put it in your box there. And then fulfillment, what at the end of the summer would describe how you feel? So at the end of the summer, I would consider this a fulfilling, amazing, great summer. And I'm gonna end it with this feeling. Going into the fall, going back to school season, how do I want to feel with my business? Accomplished, Donna. I love that. So put that word in there. How would you like to feel? I would like some of it would be productive. I would also like to feel rested. That's another word I love. I've been really busy this year. We've done a lot of big things. So I'm really excited to feel rested. Production, accomplished, routine. So good. So whatever that is, accomplished and productive. Whatever that is, put it down there. Organized with good systems in place. Jen, I love that. So good. So we can see where we are at the top, okay, and where we want to go. That's amazing. So now we have that baseline of what we're working towards. So we're going to build a summer of profit and fun. How are we going to get there? That's what we're going to talk about the rest of our time. So we're going to go down here. I want you to take all that information from those the goals of what you want your summer to look like, the 25 hours, fun and ease, 10K, productive. I'm going to have you bring all of that into this middle part here. So we're going to put 25 hours. I'm putting my answers here as you put yours in your triangle. Okay, so now we have what we want from our summer. How do we get that? That's the question. Before we dive in, how many of you have felt like summers in the past have been a little chaotic for you? Have you crashed and burned? Have you felt like you had to make choices? You either could have your business or you could have your family. You can't have both. Anything that you felt in the past about summer when it comes to about juggling summer, business, families, all the things that are going on in your space. Can you put in the chat what you've had in the past that you don't want again? Is there anything specific that you're like, I've experienced this in the past with my summer and my business, or maybe your family? I had one summer where the summer was almost over and I realized, hey, I've been so immersed in my business, which is not a bad thing. I'm feeling a lot of mom guilt around not spending enough time with my kids. So I don't want to experience that again. How do I avoid it? But I don't want to drop the business side, but how do I have both? Jen, I love that winging it everyday chaos. That is definitely with 6 kids. I have felt that very much so. Donna, you felt measurable personal time fulfillment. Okay, love it. So if you felt like your summer has been chaotic before, or maybe you felt like you're winging it, falling into bad habits, Cassie, totally get that. We can relate to that. So our goal with this workshop and why I brought it up is because I realized personally first that I needed to have a plan in place that was really actionable, practical, and sustainable. So that's what we're going to talk about today with how to have a summer of profit and fun and reach all these goals that we have identified for ourselves. So by putting these into place and working on them now before summer even starts, we're going to have the opportunity to have them. And it's going to start with our time. So if you've ever hung out with me, you know time is the thing I always start with in the formula because I can't really make the best formula not knowing what we want to do with our time. So what you just did with identifying how many hours you want to work, you are ahead of the game. So this is the first thing I do with my clients is ask them, do you have any shift in the time you want to be available? Are you going to change your hours? And if you are, how can we start making that transition now instead of it being a shock to your system when the summer gets here? So time adjustments is going to be really important and really getting into your calendar architecture. That's what I'm calling it. And I don't know if I spelled that right. We're just going to say it is, okay? My brain is like mush today. So we want to be an architecture and like design our calendar before we do anything else. So I want you to go in there and set your business hours. I want you to block off vacations. I want you to block off family fun days, time off, rest days for you, spa days, pool days, beach days, whatever it is for that. Like we're going to start with the time you're not available first and design your calendar to be blocked off the way you want to. Pitfall I made for myself accidentally because I did not do this one summer was I forgot that we had a vacation planned and didn't have it blocked off on my calendar. And so all my clients booked calls during our vacation. And I had to go back to every single one of them and be like, hey guys, so sorry. I know you just booked this call. I'm not available. And it was kind of like I did double work because I hadn't just blocked it off in the first place. And then I had to find a way to work their calendars around. And it was not like they were upset with me, but it just took a lot of extra work to now reschedule 10 coaching calls because I forgot to block it off on my calendar. So silly little things like that can cause extra work for us. So I spent the whole day reworking everybody's schedule, accommodating them. And I'm for that, but also I made more work for myself. So I'm going to get ahead of the game by going into my calendar now and blocking all that time off. The next thing I want you to really think about is your mindset. And I know mindset is one of those things everybody talks about, and you're like, what does that mean? Well, however you expect your summer to go is how it will be. Really, like that's where I really have learned over the years. My clients and even myself, myself on this, if I think this summer is going to be chaotic and frustrating and nobody's going to buy from me and people aren't buying, they don't have money or they're not online, whatever I start assuming and thinking and believing, I will find it to be true. So you are believing the summer is going to be insane and you don't know how you're going to do all this and you already are thinking in this state of chaotic, crazy, and lack, that is what we will find. So we find what we think to be true. So how can I shift my mindset now to abundance and fun? And so, like, what is the shift I need to make right now? And how can I start to believe something different if I have some sort of frustrating thought around the summer? Because I can understand that we've all had those experiences of not fun. So that can be the expectation to see that over again. Or maybe you've had a summer where like no one bought from you because everybody was like, well, I'm doing this and I don't have money because I'm going on vacation. And our expectation is, well, nobody's going to want to buy from me until the end of the summer when they're back. And so I'll just have to wait. And no, I don't want you to think like that now. Because if you start that thought pattern, you will find the people who believe the same thing as you and you will attract them. So I don't want you to fall into that trap. And then the next one I want to bring to you is I want you to plan for sustainable and flexible time. Meaning, I want you to have a summer that is really sustainable for your lifestyle and flexible for fun. Meaning, if something fun comes up, how can I build in more margins and flexibility for my family and for fun? So that if it's a beautiful, gorgeous day, I'm not tied to my computer and inside locked into my office. I want to be able to can I make my business mobile? Can I set myself up for more freedom? Can I change the way I'm working my packages so that I'm not locked into like so tight timelines? What can I do to create sustainability and flexibility? Because it's hard to be consistent in the summer when you're getting interrupted by vacations or going out of town, or you're changing your work schedule around, or maybe whatever it might be, how can we create the sustainability and flexibility? So out of these three things, when it comes to the first step in creating that summer of profit and fun, which one do you identify immediately as like, I can see I haven't done this in the past for myself in the summer, and I know I need it? Is there any one of these, like, do you need to really work on your calendar and design it as an architect that will support you for the summer you want to have? Are you needing a mindset shift for beliefs right now? Or are you like, I really need to look at my business and really decide how is this going to be sustainable and flexible for the time I want to work and not take over my life, and keep me from having profit and fun? So can you put in the chat here which one you're feeling? Sustainable, flexible, Heather, I love that. Okay. So how do we create sustainability and flexibility is by looking at your actions, which we're going to talk about next. In the next conversation is like, how can I facilitate that freedom for myself? Donna, you started blocking off your trips and personal time, but can work on my mindset. Absolutely. So good. Cassie, sustainable, flexible. Perfect. So we know where we need to start. How do we create that structure? Brenda, you're needing to create and stick with structure for working for your client in calendar, and then give yourself Sundays for rest and relax. Perfect. Exactly. So really identifying where that time is going, because we want to maximize our time for profit. That's really what this is all going to do, is maximize our time for profit. And we can really do that by knowing our profit priorities and what exactly we need to do. I want to shorten my to-do list this summer. So the next step I want to take us on
Sorry,
is...
Lonnie, can you just say that again? You want to maximize? I don't know. I feel like it was a really heavy point. I need to hear it another 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we want to maximize our time for profit, meaning I don't want my to-do list to be full of things that are not directly connected to cash action. So I call them profit priorities, where I know if I do this thing, it will lead me to a sale or a client, potential client that I can close. So for example, I don't want to spend my precious time of 20 to 25 hours a week designing a graphic for 3 hours, because I have to get it perfect, that I'm going to post for maybe 24 hours that will be alive in the algorithm, right? So how can I reduce the things that I'm doing that are not directly leading to cash? It would be better for me to take that time of an hour to 2 hours that I would be designing a graphic that has a short shelf life, to writing some like an email sequence or reaching out to a client. And we're going to talk about some cash actions. Have you been watching me on Canva? Yes, I have, because I know I'm guilty of doing this. So I want you to like really identify from your to-do list, does this equal a quick cash action? And like graphics on Canva are not a bad thing. They can be helpful to our business, but they can also be a distraction. It's also a distraction to go down a rabbit hole of a new platform that you haven't tested and it doesn't have an audience. And suddenly you're like, I'm going to be on TikTok all summer. Okay, but if your goal is cash and less work, do you have the time to do all the effort of posting on that platform and developing a new audience and a new funnel there and new conversations? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I want you to put a filter for yourself on what is most important for you to do to lead to new clients, to new sales. That is what I want you to prioritize with your limited time. Does that help, Brenda? Clarify?
Yes, totally. I mean, like, okay, that was sort of like mind blowing, right?
Yes, and it's some one of those things that we just easily pass over because we just have this ongoing to-do list of all these random things, or we see somebody else doing something, we add that to our list. I really want you to be picky about the things you're adding to your list and ask yourself, how does this equal cash? And is this the best action I can do this summer in my smaller amount of time that I have available to me to lead to cash? Because it might not be conducive. So for an example, for me, Normally during the school year, I go to a lot of networking in-person things here locally because I love doing that and it's a great feeder for me. However, I'm going to be much more picky about the events I go to because they're taking me away from my family. So and they're taking up a lot of time. So I'm going to be really intentional. If I'm going to go to that event, I want to be confident that those people in the room are my ideal client. This is not the time I'm going to go test out random waters. I'm going to go to where I've already nurtured and have momentum built and have a community available to me for possibilities. So I'm really going to filter myself, be more picky about what I'm choosing to implement or what I'm choosing to wait on. Yeah. So looking at everything that's on your to-do list with a filter and being picky about what moves the needle forward is exactly what I want you to do, Brenda. It's exactly what I want you to do. The next step that I want you to do is your family. This is important for the summer. If you have anybody in your life or that you're spending time with, it's time to get them on board. So getting your family into your brain a little bit, let's say there, we want to get them on board. We want to have them participate in the summer and the fun because of course, like we want to spend time with our loved ones, whether it's your children, your partner, extended family, friends you want to go on vacation with, whatever it is, you've got to get them on board because sometimes as business owners, especially for us as women who are, building businesses from nothing, people don't understand since we don't have a technical 9-to-5 job that we're still working, right? If my son comes up to me and I'm on my computer or on my phone, he's going to assume I'm doing what he does on his computer and phone, which is play, right? So that's what my kids see is mom's just playing around on her phone. She's just goofing off. And I demand from them their attention when they're on their phones and I come into the room and say, hey, put your phone down. It's time to do this. But I won't give them that courtesy. In their minds, I'm playing like they are. So really getting your family on board is going to be important. And that starts with communication. And I want this to be for everyone. This is going to be partner and kids and family, like your extended friends and family. Tell them what you're doing. Let's not gatekeep what our expectations are for the summer. So if you know you're going to have to work some nights and, because you're going to be, maybe you have little ones at home like me and I'm going to be doing stuff with them during the day. So I might need to work some nights. I want to communicate to my husband before the summer starts. Hey, because our schedule is changing, I may have to work a couple nights a week. What nights will be best for you? Also, I want to set the expectation of what that looks like because I know in the past I have been sitting next to my husband on my computer doing work, not telling him what I was doing, not telling him how long I was going to be on there. And even though we're sitting right next to each other, he feels totally ignored. And I'm being rude to him in the sense of like, he has no idea, will I be working till midnight or is this in 5 minutes? What is this? Like, what is it? Well, what are we doing? But if I talk to him and I clearly say, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. And is this a good night for us to do? I want to include him because I also want to spend time with him. He's important to me. Hopefully your partner is important to you. And the same thing with the kids. This is what time I'm going to be working. This is what time we're going to be playing. If you keep interrupting me, it's going to delay when we get to play. So I love practical tools. Is anybody here have young kids in elementary age or middle school? Anyone in here have children that they're juggling this summer? Cassie, you have some? Yeah. So one of the things I did was a 5-year-old. Yeah, this is the perfect thing. So I put up a system of red, yellow, green. I would put on the back of my computer a dot that was red, yellow, or green, or a sticky note. And they knew if it was red, I'm on a call. Do not interrupt me unless someone is dying or bleeding. That's the rules. If it's yellow, you can walk up to me and whisper because you can, but don't be loud. And then green was mom's just doing stuff on the computer. You can interrupt me and talk to me at any time. But that helped them to know when it was time to be quiet versus when they could talk to me and I want to be available to them. And that helped them understand, okay, this is what I'm doing. And also my teenagers, we started involving them into our business. So if you have older kids, get them involved into your business, get them into what you're doing, show them, even the little ones. Hey, look, my kids use Canva in 5th grade. They're using Canva already at school. So I showed them, like, this is what mom did for her business, Canva. Do you want to design something on Canva? And I'll set them up for something. Hey, you make me the graphic. Give them a task to do. And then I say, if you help me with this, we're going to take that money. I would have paid somebody to do it in a contractor position. And we're going to go have ice cream, or we're going to go do something fun. So get your family involved and have them help you, and use systems. Systems also are like super important for your business. I think systems are vital for growth in your business, but it's also important for your family, and you naturally have them. So how can you incorporate systems for yourself, your family, for efficiency in the home life and your business? So getting those systems put into place, even like a summer rules, summer bucket list, a summer schedule, post them on your fridge. I made some printables for our family a few summers ago, and I've used them every summer since, where we just post on the fridge so everybody can see what the expectations are, what we're doing that week, so they don't ask me a bajillion times. I also let them know, like, what are our summer rules? We can't just get up and get on an electronic and play games for 10 hours a day. We have to do chores, and you have to help me. We divided our house into zones. So all really practical action that we can put into place to have our family on board with supporting us, because we do it all, but we don't have to. We can get them to work with us. And my family appreciated my communication of this and the system, so that they're able to help me, because they want to, they really do. Free labor, Brenda, absolutely, take it. And then I also want you to have a commitment. This word I put in there because consistency is really hard to be, especially during the summer. And honestly, throughout the year, I just throw that word out the window anyways. I think that we can't be consistent. It's just really hard to do when you have autoimmune disease, you have kids, you have life. I mean, there's things come up all the time. So there's no normal. It's just all fun and games, right? You just never know what's coming. So I'd rather use the word commitment, of like what I am really committed to doing this. I'm committing to showing up for my family, and I'm committed to showing up for my business, and this is how. And then also honoring your word to yourself and to your family and loved ones. How many of you, and I just would like maybe an admission in the comments, just say me if this is you, have said to somebody you cared about, I'll be done in 5 minutes. And you've said that 5 times, or maybe it was 20 minutes later or 2 hours later that you actually got done. How many will say me in the comments? Okay, Heather, yes, Donna, I see ya. So we are at that moment when we say, I'll be done in 5 minutes, and then we are not committed to ourselves, and we're not committed to our families. And that dishonoring of our own self and our families builds a lot of frustration. Even subconsciously, you're doing that to yourself, because now you don't believe it. This task is not 5 minutes. I'm lying to myself here. I'm lying to my kids. Now they don't believe me. My spouse doesn't believe me. And my own personal inside, I don't believe myself when I say I'm gonna be 5 minutes, because I'm not. So I really want you this summer to put some boundaries of commitment up, to say, if I say I'm only working from 9 to noon, I'm only doing 9 to noon. Mm-hmm. And put that boundary up. Or if you say it's going to be 5 more minutes, set a timer and commit to it. Don't just keep saying 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. No, be done and walk away. Because if you can't, why? I want you to question, like, did I not set up my calendar correctly? Did I set up my mindset? My expectations are not correct. Am I doing something that is not really flexible and sustainable for me, because it does take too much time and I need to choose a different strategy? Because that commitment is going to be so important for you to stay in line with what you want. And that's where the fun and the profit come in, is through commitment and showing up. And vice versa. If you say, I'm going to work in the mornings, You can't every day say, no, I've decided to go to the beach, right? We still do have to show up for the business too. We still have to show up for the people who have signed contracts with us and need that service. We also don't want to get behind on serving our people in a high value way because that also doesn't feel good. So being really honoring to yourself and commitment and to your family. So out of these three, when it comes to getting your whole family, including yourself, on board with this, do you need the communication, the systems, or the commitment the most? Which one would you say that's top of mind for me with getting done? Systems, Brenda. All right, I hear you. We got to get you in some systems. Commitment, Donna. I love it. Commitment is so important. Um, anyone else have something that they identified for themselves? Like, I want to communicate better with my family, my partner, my kids about what I'm doing so that they really understand. Cassie, communication. It's game changer. It's so simple. It's one of those things we just don't think about, because we just do our thing. And when nobody's around, it doesn't really matter. But when they're all home and underfoot, get them on board. Get them on board. And then the next one, which I know we're here for, is the profit. So cash acceleration. So we want to make more money this summer. We want to increase our cash. We want to grow. How do we do that? By working less and also being lots of flexibility and sustainability. What can we do in that limited time to gain more momentum in our cash? So I have a few ideas that I like to start with my clients that I'm going to give you to see if these might be the perfect way for you to increase your cash with ease over the summer. So I'm going to give you some brainstorming ideas, and feel free to ask questions in the comments if you have anything specific that you're like, okay, expand on that idea. So I'm going to have 4 different categories here just to give you the space of where we're going. So the first one we're going to do is client value maximization. So this is my favorite way to start when I think about making more cash this summer, is going first to my current clients and my former clients, because I don't have to do any marketing to them. They already know me. They've already experienced my support. They're either working with me now or they've worked with me in the past and I've helped them get good results. So I don't really have a lot of long nurture in this case because they're already in my role. Okay. So I love the fact that I'm not having to do a big marketing campaign. I literally can send an email, book a call with somebody to talk to them about what we can do. So what do I mean by client value maximization? This looks like you working with a client to create impact in a unique way just for the summer. So that could be, hey, I don't normally do this. This is not a normal thing I offer, but just for the summer, I'm going to do a VIP day where we can knock off this thing that you've had on your list for months. And I know you haven't done it, but we're going to do a special one day, get it all done, or 1 week. We're going to accelerate this action. And I don't normally offer this in my offer suite. This is not a long-term commitment. It is a quick, fast cash injection for you. And because you already know your people, you can come to them with the options in the strategy ready-made, created for them. So that's why I love this. So let's say, for instance, Heather, you're in an OBM, and you could go to a client and say, hey, I've heard you talk about all year in 2025 that you wanted to redo your course. You wanted to get it off this old platform and onto the new platform, and it's just been hanging out there. And I know you were going to do it yourself. What if I knock that out for you in just 1 week? We can have it done. And here's a special price just for that because you're already a client. That would be an easy no-brainer yes for the client. If somebody came to me and said, hey, I could knock this project out for you in 1 week, I would really, really be interested in hearing more about that, because that would make me feel like I'm not sitting there waiting. I don't have a long-term commitment. It'll be done quickly. I already trust you. You already know my business. So it's a no-brainer yes. So add-ons, VIP packages, short-term commitments to re-engage with old clients. So maybe your normal packages look like hey, we normally work for 6 months at a time. This summer, I'm just going to do a quick 6-week sprint. And I'm going to coach you for 6 weeks on this one subject or whatever it might be. So get creative with something that you don't normally offer, but you could offer to those clients. This summer I'm doing, and these also can bleed over. Like if you have a really great offer, you can also offer it to your warmed up audience. Maybe you've had some conversations with them that they're like, yes, I'm very interested in working with you. I'm just not ready to yet for that long commitment. You might get them warmed up with this easy yes. So I'm doing that this summer. I'm opening up a certain amount of spots for strategy intensive days where it's normally we work together for 6 months, but in this case, I'm gonna offer 1 day really intensive strategy sessions that they don't require any commitment. Now it's not as long as support, but we can tackle one big idea for them and map out a strategy that they can work for this summer. And I'm opening up just a limited amount of spots because I know I can sell those and quickly fill them, and it doesn't take a lot of stress on me. So I can go back to old clients that maybe have said they're, ready to take on a new project, whatever it might be. So help with some brainstorming. Anybody getting some ideas from this? I can see some heads nodding. Love to have you put in the comments if any ideas pop in. That way we can share them with the group for anybody else that has new ideas too. So if you think of something while I'm talking, pop it in the group of something you came up with an idea in the chat, so that we can share them as well. So client value maximization is the first one. And then I'm going to go into what I'm calling pocket products. I'm not the one that coined this word, but I don't remember how I came up with it. I'm pretty sure someone else mentioned it in a workshop. Pocket products are little things, and the thing about it is like, what amount of cash does most people have in their pocket? Anywhere between like $1 to maybe $50 is my wallet. I don't carry a lot of cash. Most of us don't carry cash anymore. So I want this to be something that, imagine if I had this money in my pocket, it's a no-brainer, yes, I can pay for it. So I love right now $9 products. With this workshop, Profit and Fun, for the summer Profit and Fun workshop, we've designed a action pack to go with it that will jumpstart you into all of these things. So everything we talked about with like your systems, your calendar, mindset shift, how to communicate with your family, the printables that I talked about, AI prompts for coming up with content, email templates for client value maximization, all of these things we put into a bundle, and it's just $9. So it's a no-brainer, yes, for you to get all of these things. Like I'm telling you, this is a jam-packed value that is worth probably $100 of all the things if I sold them individually, but I'm going to give it to you for $9 because I know that's going to be a huge value add to you. It's an easy yes for my audience. I can sell it for the next 6 weeks, and even further into the summer. I already had all of these things built in some capacity. I just had to put them together in a small bundle. So I'd already made most of these things for my clients in my program or myself. So now I'm just putting it into something that I can deliver to them with ease. We just did this for one of our clients. We put together a pocket product that was $27, and it's a short. She took one of her courses. She has a big course. She took one of her modules, turned it into a mini course, and it's like the summer feeder for what she wants to sell in the fall. So she knows now if I get 20 people to buy this $27 product, they're now hot leads to go into my $997 product in the fall. And I didn't have to do any work, but just set up a few emails and a landing page. So again, to me, that's really a profitable action that I can prioritize because it's quick, it's fast, it doesn't take a long time. This is not the time I want you to build out a giant course that you have to record 17 hours for. No. Don't do that. What do you have already made or in your hand or you're using already for yourself that you can turn into an easy sell? So that's why I want you to get your juices brainstorm thinking is like, what do I already have built that I can easily turn into a quick product for my people because they're also feeling this need for something. So 4 years ago when I first started this workshop and doing this, it was based off of the fact that I already was talking to my clients about it. I already built a bunch of tools for myself and I can easily put them all together for them. So what can you put together for your audience that is a pocket product? So get your brainstorming juices going on this. And this isn't for every business. I'm going to preface this. Not all of these will be for you, but it could be. And this is an easy way for us to find ways to build cash for you. The next one I want to point out is the low competition. So summertime, most people think, oh, nobody's going to be online. They're on vacation. They're not buying. They're busy. So it's really not even worth me showing up because, like whatever that mindset is that we assume for the summer. However, studies have proven that there is no significant drop during the summer in online presence or email opening. So there's no lull. Your audience is still coming online. They're still showing up for themselves and wanting entertainment. They're wanting value. So the good news is for you, this means you have lower competition because other businesses are assuming that this is not the time to market. You're going to get more juice and more presence in your algorithm. If you keep showing up, you're going to be able to be seen more. So this also is if you are interested in buying ads for your business, this is also when ad cost goes down compared to the fourth quarter. That is, it is significantly less to get leads and conversions during the summer than during the fall and the holiday season. So if you're going to spend ad money, this is the time to spend on your ad money. Or if you're going to get organic traffic, this is the time to show up because your organic reach is going to go much further because the competition is lower. And how do we show up? Whoops, sorry guys, spam call. How do we show up when we are feeling like, okay, I want to be present in this low competition. I want to be able to, okay, just want to make do not disturb is on. I want to be able to give my audience a presence, but also I don't know how to do that without burning out. Like that isn't sustainable. Well, that's going to come from batching your content. So if you've never batched before, this is good time to batch your content to really get ahead of the game. That bundle that I was talking about, we're going to be putting a whole strategy workshop into that as a bonus here in a couple weeks. We're going to be we're working with our current clients to teach them how to batch, and we're going to take that training and add it to the bundle as well. So you're getting that in there as well. Batching is the same concept as if I'm going to make 1 dozen cookies, I might as well make 5 dozen cookies and freeze a couple dozen so it's ready to go. So that's how I view batching is if I'm going to sit down and do that activity, I might as well do it in bulk and in volume and get way ahead of my game. Because when you do that, you're going to find you get your time back because you're in that mindset mode already and you can be way ahead of your game. So what is your audience wanting for the summer? What are their summer pain points? Really nailing that in and understanding that is going to allow you to get ahead of that competition and show up. And then the last one under this is foundation expansion. This is the one I did last summer. I focused on this one really hard. I wanted to really expand my foundation because I knew, and I know this is a pattern that we see in my personal business is the fall tends to blend to a big influx of clients all at once. And I can only bring in as many as my foundation can handle. Meaning, what are my onboarding systems? What are my systems in place for client success, for marketing, all of those things I needed to make sure were in place because last year what I experienced is I had a big influx of clients in the spring and then I couldn't show up and do any marketing at all because I was not in good systems for onboarding everybody. So I had to onboard everybody, get them all settled, get them all served. And then I was like, oh no, I haven't been marketing. So now I can have no sales in the funnel because I've been onboarding. It's a good thing that I got all those clients, but then I had to ignore everything else while I was trying to juggle this new load of work. So if you get on those roller coasters of I get a lot of work and then I get nothing, and then I get a lot of work and then I get nothing, you might want to expand your foundation and make it more solid for growth. I like to ask the question, if your business doubled tomorrow or tripled, what would break? And usually the first thing is me. I would break, right? Cassie, I see you raising your hand. So what would break? Would your systems break? Would you break? Okay, obviously, if you would break, how can we make it so that you have the capacity to double your business and you actually don't break? What is needed? So for me, when I asked that question, I was like, well, I need an onboarding process. I need a way to get information from them. I need emails set up in place and automations. I need a new system for this particular thing of organization. I needed a way to get them into my calendar. I like all of that I was able to map out, and that allowed me to expand my foundation so my business could take on the most clients we'd ever had before in the fall. So foundation expansion can be a cash acceleration for you for the remainder of the year because you made it possible to take on even more. So out of these, and this is not like, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we can brainstorm for you. But like if I was to sit down and you were one of my clients today, this is where we would start. Would you identify any of these as like, I could totally implement this summer and I feel like this is the one I want to focus on? Maybe you're like, I totally have ideas. I can maximize more client value. I can build a pocket product really easily. Maybe you're like, I'm going to batch and take advantage of this low competition and the marketing opportunities in front of me. Or maybe you're ready to do a foundation expansion. Cassie, I see you on the foundation expansion. I saw your reaction. I was like, I bet that's the one. So the question is now, how does that align with maintaining what you already have and keep marketing as well as building that out? So that's where the systems are going to come in, is so important, and organizing it based off of your time. Anyone else with what they want to implement for cash acceleration strategies? Have one that's sticking out to you? I always love this part because it gives everybody, I can see everybody's brains are thinking. This is my favorite. Pocket products for you, Donna. That would be perfect. Absolutely. So all of these are, again, what I love about them is it's not starting from scratch. Even the foundation expansion, it's taking what you've already built and making it more automated, more in flow. It's eliminating steps that require you, or it's eliminating the repeated process that you are doing every single time that can be done automatically. That is game changer for maximizing your profit and your fun, because now I'm going to have even more fun the rest of the year and more profit the rest of the year because I took the time to do this. So identifying how to make your cash accelerated this summer without taking more time or adding a ton to your to-do list, so important. So that's how you can really design your summer. And it really, again, this is why I call it a blueprint, because you get to be the designer of the blueprint and then execute it. And the reason why I'm doing this now, before the kids are out of school and it's midway through June, is we know the summer will go by so fast. I don't know about you, but like it just flies by. And within minutes, we're back to school, back to our regular scheduled chaos. And I don't want to miss out on it. I want to enjoy it, but I also want to take advantage of it for my business. So I'm gonna drop in the chat actually right now. If you're like, yes, yes to all of these things, I could use those tools, and you want to jumpstart your action and accelerate your results, this is the Summer Fun and Action Pack that you can grab right now just for $9. So that's available to you. We also are turning this into a secret podcast. So you're going to get an email about this in a little bit after our workshop here too. We put this into your earbuds, and that's completely free. So you can re-listen to it and get re-inspired as you need to. That'll be available. That's completely free. And you're going to get an email about that. But this is the action pack that's going along with everything. So in there's going to be a Trello board that I set up for our clients to track their summer in profit. We want to make sure that they're able to keep track of their time and schedule, their to-do list, their priorities. We want to make sure it's not a ton of extra work, but really clear. We've got AI prompts in there for creating more of this. What does my clients need for the summer? Helping you with ideas, all of those, helping you with client value maximization. We have even in their emails about like letting your clients know, hey, my schedule is going to be different. I want to give you a heads up. Here's what it will look like for us working together through the summer, and giving that ahead of the time schedule. So that just makes you feel so much more at ease instead of reactive. So there's a ton of stuff in there, as well as our printables for the kids. Take advantage of those. And then we're also offering a summer cash bonus call where if you're like, all right, I think I want to be really, really intentional for the summer, and I want to have a summer where I am intentionally building profit and fun, but I need a little bit more support in brainstorming. If you'd like some personalized support with that, I am opening up some limited spots every week this next 6 weeks for a summer alignment call, and I'm calling it the Summer Cash Alignment Call. And we can get on a call and talk about what it looks like for getting cash into your business. If you want some more brainstorming, some more strategies, and more support. Our program is still open through the summer, and we're very intentional about ways to give you that extra support. But we wanted to offer that summer cash alignment call. So I'm going to drop that into the comments too. And if you want to take a peek at the calendar and see if one of those times works for you, I'll put that in here. I think that's the right link. Let me just double check that I opened correctly. Perfect. Okay. So you can book your summer cash call and we can talk about your summer cash plan, as well as take advantage of the pocket product that we made for you for taking action. I hope this was inspiring to you to get your summer ready for profit and fun. And the whole point of this is, again, intentionality. If you can come to this and listen for an hour and hang out with me, which I love. I'm always for hanging out with amazing women like you guys. But if you don't go and take action on it or put any of these plans and strategies into place, you're going to end up August 31st. Where did my summer go? What just happened? And that's not what we want. So I want you to, at the end of the summer, when it's Labor Day weekend, you are in an amazing spot. All of those profit measurements we did at the top, the time, the energy, the income, the fulfillment, I want them to be all lit up in green. I just want it across the board at the end of the summer. It's green all the way across. How is that going to happen? From intentionally putting the action into place. That is where it's going to come from. It's not going to happen by accident. I'll tell you that. So if you're wanting to light those all up on green, this is my challenge to you to put it into action. I have a few more minutes here. If you want to hang out with me and chat a little bit more or have some more questions, I would love to hang out with you. I know we went a little bit longer than we expected because of the delay. So anybody have any questions or thoughts that you came up with, things that you're like, I have this idea, I want to just kind of brainstorm it out a minute. Anyone have any of those that came up? And you can just come off of mute. No?
Sorry, I had to step away for a minute,
Oh,
but
yeah.
so you might be repeating things, but
Okay.
since you're asking, I'll ask. So on the fun and profit action pack, that's $9 for that, but did you say there was assistance with that, or it's just the
So that's just the pack. And
pack?
again,
Okay.
there's like, if there's a training videos for the tools I put in there, if they need them, some of them are like pretty straightforward of how to use them. And then the summer cash link there is if you would like to book a summer cash alignment call. We're just doing those for brainstorming how to make your summer fun and cash, or maybe you're just like, I'm ready for more support. I'm ready for either maybe an intensive will work for you, or you want to look at Empowered For, our program where we support women entrepreneurs with things like this every week of the month. This is what we do in our program where we dive into every one of these areas with our clients to say, what do we need to do to get you there? And we customize them. So all of this is a framework that, it's on you right now to put into action. If you are like me, I like doing things with people. I don't like working alone. I'm a solopreneur, but being a solopreneur means oftentimes I get in my own way because I'm in the weeds too much. So we also have Empower for More, which is open year round to get you into the action mode and help you to get with a whole team of people in your business and supporting you with you. So we have myself as the main coach, and then I bring in additional coaches to support you so that you have a whole team of people ready to help you take action every single week and make it sustainable, make it flexible. If it's not working, we're going to dive in and say why, because we really want you to make an impact. Thank you for coming, Donna. I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you so much, Lanny.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to reach out to you. I'll talk to you
Okay,
soon.
good. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Question. What
Yeah.
about talk to me more about systems, like building the systems and some examples of what that could be.
Yeah, so that can be systems are a whole gamut. I always say start with a system to manage your projects and your life. So for instance, let me pull up the exact board that we're going to give you in the action pack, because that's really like one of I call it my gateway board, is we start with our time, because that really allows us to maximize what we're doing with this. So let me just pull this up. Summer. I'll show you. And I like using Trello. So systems like Trello, ClickUp, Asana, all of them are, there's a free version that you can use. We personally use Trello in our program. We give you templates like this one that I'm going to show you. And I love it. It's just so nice. So let me get here and share my screen again.
Was there a reason you picked Trello over Asana, for example? Because I understand
Asana
Trello can make it pretty.
Yeah, so one thing is Asana is can be pretty robust and takes longer to build out, whereas I feel and like it's like you've got to commit to it, and there's a lot of nuances. Trello, I feel like, is more user friendly for new businesses, especially, and also visually. So a lot of entrepreneurs are creative, so we tend to use things that are prettier or more visually appealing. So I like that, and then also it functions similarly to what we already are used to, which is like to-do list, sticky notes, that kind of thing. So it's easy then to organize your business because you're already used to this system of the way it's laid out. So if you're not, are you familiar with Trello, Brenda?
Not so much, and I will kudos, like this is very pretty, but I have sort of like dabbled in Asana, not as pretty. But I think Asana can do lots of the automations and stuff, and I wondered if Trello could.
Trello can do a lot of automations for you too, and it does talk to other systems, and you can set up zaps and things with it. I find most businesses can do this. I like using Asana for people who have a lot of like repeating processes that all like teams need to do. So when you get into like scaling with a team, Asana would be a problem, or ClickUp is more robust for that kind of project management. But I also know big companies use Trello as well. Like my kids love it because Fortnite uses Trello. So they think I'm a pretty cool mom. But so it can function however you need it to be. What we do is we create templates like these that give you a jump start to working in Trello. So we have ones for marketing, for your time, for just about everything you can think of. We make a Trello board for it because we want you to not spend too much time trying to figure out how to set up the system. We want you to get in and take action. So
And
when you
again, this is really pretty.
good.
The beauty of it almost is like, wow, maybe I should use Trello. But then it's like, filter. You just told me to like filter what I do.
Right. So that's why I don't want you to make this, buy it. We've already set it up for you. It's usable as is right now. So like that, and again, in our program, Empower for More, everything we teach you in our vaults most everything comes with a board like this. You can hit create from template and immediately start taking action from. You don't have to make this. You just hit create from template and you get all of this to jumpstart your action. And this is why I love Trello, because it makes it so friendly to do it. So this is what it looks like. I have like a brain dump of all the things I need to do. If I have recurring things I'm doing every month or week, I put it here. Active projects I'm working on. And then I can set my work hours up here, as well as like my to-do list for each day and each week. And then I also have a do later list, which I talk about in the training, but I just like love being able to visually have this. And the nice thing about Trello, it's also very mobile friendly. So it's on my iPad, it's on my phone. I'm able to access it wherever I am. So if I'm at the pool and I have a new idea, I can put it onto a board that organizes my business. And since we're a small group here, I'll just show you this. Like just to give you an idea of what my business looks like on the background. This is my entire business right here. And then my clients can add me to their boards, and I can work with them on building out their systems and what they're doing. So in my fingertips and accessible right away, this system allows me to quickly take action on anything I need to do, whether it's tracking my leads, it's managing the society, it's my podcast, my clients, whatever it is, I have it all ready to go at my fingertips.
Yeah.
And you can also use this to organize your own personal life. That's a whole other thing that we talk about. And like I can have a meal plan board. I have a home, I call it Home Central Station, where I can remember, it helps me remember things, because I just want you to think about this system as relieving your mental load.
Yeah, exactly. And then it increases your capacity for thinking about the other things you actually need to think about.
Yes, because a lot of I noticed over the years, myself and my clients included, a lot of the time suck for us is we sit down to do work and we have to make a decision on what to tackle first out of this giant to-do list. And that alone is taking up 20 minutes of our time, if not more. Because it's just so, or we're so distracted because as we start to work, we think of other things we need to do. And then our brain's like, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. We don't trust ourselves to even do the things on our to-do list, because our to-do list rolls over and over and over and over again. So our brain's like, well, just because you wrote it down on a to-do list doesn't mean you're actually going to do it, right? So if you get stuck in that pattern, we want to disrupt that mental load that you have, because you just keep taking on things that don't need to be on a to-do list, and put them somewhere where your brain will trust you to come back to. And that's
that was going to be one of my questions to you, because you had a brain dump list, but then you also had like a daily list. So how do you determine what you're going to put in the brain dump versus what I have to do on Tuesday?
So I use the brain dump to kind of be a catch-all as my thoughts come in. I put them there on that brain dump, and then once a week, or I like to do this once a week, is reset my week for the next week based off of what I need to do for the following week. So I'm not just putting things on the to-do list that I have to do. It's things I need to consider and think about, and then I will purposely assign them to a day, and I give them a due date. And I have a training that goes along with that board to walk you exactly, and I give you examples of how we put it in there and how we use it. But basically, if you can think about it as really identifying what you need to do, and then making that action intentional, and I can set a due date, I can set a day, I can be really, really purposeful with what I'm doing. That is why this board works really well. So I have a place.
Are you clearing that brain dump when you do it like once a week, or does some stuff just stay in the brain dump because I'm not sure where to put it yet?
So I either will leave it there and I'll just be like, that can live because it's not important. Let's just say, like, one of my things is, my kids need dentist appointments. I'll put that there because it's on my brain, but I don't have to do that to this week. So I can, the nice thing I like, and let me just show you because we're talking. So if we do dentist appointments here, I can set in here and just come in, and it's just like, well, I don't need to do that this week. So I'm going to choose, okay, I'm going to do that by June 30th. So I'm going to put that due date as June 30th. And now I'll just leave it there, and I know what it is. I can also put labels on it, which I show you is I can say, oh, this is a family task. So I can know, okay, this can lay out here. No, I didn't put the label on there. There we go. So I can leave it there as that's a family task. I'm going to do it in June, but it doesn't go on this is like what I'm actively doing this week
Right.
based off of the time I want to be working. So if I know I have, 9:30 to 12:30, I don't want to put on Monday's list something that's going to take me 8 hours if I only have this much time to work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I can also drag it over here, which is my due later list, which is like,
Oh,
hey,
there's a due later too.
yes, because I'm going to come up with great ideas this summer that are really good, but it's not the right time to do them. I don't have the capacity, or like maybe it's something a training I want to record, but my kids are home, so I don't want to record when the kids are home and like yelling at them. So I'm going to put that on the due later list. It's perfect to do when they go back to school. But I can still work on it if I want to and get it all ready. So the moment they're gone, I can whip it out. So that's why I love having this kind of a tool at my fingertips to help me stay organized. Or maybe I have a project and I'm like, there's multiple steps. I can start the project list here and then assign pieces to the days of the week I'm working on it.
And then the other question I had about this, because you mentioned it when you had all your boards, I think they're called boards, right?
Yes, they're called boards.
That other people share. So if you have a client that doesn't have a board, then what do? You create your own board for them and you share with them?
Yeah, you could share this with anybody. So I can hit share right here and share it with you right now. Now I have the upgraded version so you can make a template, but I could add you to this board. So let's say, for instance, you and I were working together and you're like, I want to make a content board and I'd like to share it with you so you can look at my content and give me feedback. Or maybe I'm a virtual assistant doing social media and I wrote all your social media and I want you to approve it. I can add you to that board. You just have to create a login for Trello, and it'll prompt you to do that. And then now you're added to the board and you didn't have to do anything to set it up. And I can make you a viewer, I can make you an admin or a member of the board. So if I don't want you to edit it, I can lock the board so you can't edit it, or I can make it editable to you. So like I have team members that have access to my systems right now that I've built out, that they can come in and then do work in it and tell me an update in the project. So it's great for collaborations within a team. It's great for clients who you're working together with and passing things back and forth. It's great for SOPs. So let's say I'm doing a process for a client. I can document their process here and repeat the process and show it to them and say, hey, this is the process I'm doing for you as my client. Is there any gaps here? This is what I'm going to be following every week. Is this approved by you? So it's a great way also, if your client does not have systems in place, for you to bring systems to the activities you're doing.
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
times,
where there's usually some sort of resistance, right? Because I've tried it with Asana and then my client was just like, I can't
yeah,
the program,
yeah, I've seen that happen before. It's really, really hard because sometimes like they just have a lot of resistance, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. That's slowing them down, just being honest, but that's their choice, and they can keep paying me to do whatever I need to do. But I'm going to use a system because I know that will make my time better. Megan, you've been using Upbase for this kind of I love that. I haven't heard of that one yet. It's like Asana. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out.
I've
You might
never heard
convert.
of Upbase either.
Yeah. So, but whatever you choose, it's not really the tool. Like the tool, it doesn't really matter. If there's a bajillion planners out there, yeah, like right, there's all kinds of resources. There's apps. There's tools. The thing is to commit to them. Remember, going back to that part is commitment to using it. And I love to tell the truth and call myself out. I built when I first was like, oh, Trello, it's amazing. I'm going to do this and all this. I built out 6 boards for my business, but this is going to change everything in my business. And they were so beautiful. And then I didn't look at them for 3 months. So I spent all that time building these boards, but I didn't commit to them. And then when I remembered, oh, I did do all this work, I literally set an alarm on my phone to go off at 9 a.m. every morning, check Trello. And my only goal was to open the app. like that, I was in pure chaos mode 5 years ago. Well, that was actually 8 years ago now. It feels like five. But in 2018, I was in just full chaos with my kids and all the things I was juggling. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. But I don't even know if I can commit to Trello, but I can open the app. And by opening the app and seeing this board, the beautiful organization, being reminded of what I wanted to do, what I was intending to do, it allowed me to be like, oh yeah, yeah. And then by the time I was already in action mode because my brain turned on in the direction the confusion left. Because that's a lot of what happens is we have so many things we could do, we end up doing nothing. Or the decision fatigue comes
Yeah, look at us. We're all like, mm-hmm.
in.
Everybody was like nodding in unison.
Yep. So that's why I built these templates for my clients, because I see the same thing that they struggle with is like, I need a sub system, but I can't even think about what I need because I have too much to do. And so it's just like vicious cycle loop they get themselves into. And if they want to get out, and if you want to get out, you've got to start implementing it. So can you commit to just opening the app every day and using that to launch your activities? And now I don't remember a day or week where Trello is not open on my desktop at all times the entire day. And I'm working out of that board and I'm using it as a resource. And I can find things my clients sent me or my people send me that they're working on. I can track down links. I can track down things I've made. And it's just amazing. It's game changer for the productivity. When I say maximizing your time, this is the only way to do it is with systems like this.
I feel like my calendar is that for me. It's open all the time. I'm in it all the time. So
Yeah.
how would I balance the Trello with the calendar? Or do you
So,
not?
no, you do. You need to incorporate it together. So that's why this is in there. There is a beta version happening right now. So if you sign up for Trello and click this button, there's a beta version that actually allows you to open up your calendar and sync it. So I can now you're going to get an inside peek at my calendar here. But I can have a side by side of I can pull things over. So I can say like, I want to do this here. I can pull it into the time that I want. So I can like schedule it there and put a dentist appointment and make it a to-do list on my calendar. So it stays here, plus it's on my calendar. So I see it there and I see it here. And then anything like for instance, let's say I'm making this a dentist appointment. I could link in here the card to, their phone number. I can put in anything like somebody recommended me a new orthodontist for the kids for braces. So I could write this down here. And because like, that's the thing is I have notes on my phone, but they're not organized. I can't find what I wrote down. I need somewhere to come back to over and over again to get the resources. So I'm not hunting down information every time I need to take action.
Yeah, thanks for the like the visuals to actually see this, because I think
Yeah.
that's all the difference when we're talking about systems.
Yeah, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. And again, you can implement a system for everything in your life. Like if you're pitching yourself to something, we have one new client who is joining a bunch of bundles to build her email list. And she's like, I am overwhelmed with all the information coming at me. I don't know how I'm going to keep track of it all. I'm like, we need to set up a system for you. And we built a Trello board for her custom to be able to track all of the different things she's participating in, when things are due, when she has to have them out by. And because it's not complicated, but it was too much for her to remember. And she was losing emails. Because that's another thing is like, if you have a lot of emails coming in or information, how are you going back and finding what you need? Or maybe a lead. Cassie, do you have a lot of leads and people calling you, inquiring about the business?
It varies.
Varies.
That's kind of one of the things that I'm working on is lead generation.
Yes. I thought that might be a thing for you. Like I would have a contact tracking board so you can have your leads that you're working on, people that you have talked to, maybe that you want to follow up with, because it's like the follow-up and the conversation, remembering both of those. What did we talk about? When did I say I was going to follow up with them? How long has it been since I talked to them? All that information, if you're talking to 20 to 25 people a month or more, that's too many. Even 5.
Right.
I can't remember. I know this morning, like when you logged in, like I know you, but I don't like I need something to refresh my memory So I have a board just to keep track of our conversations. So Brenda, I low-key stalk you because I have a board that has all of the documentation of what we talked about on the conversation you got on a call with me a few weeks ago. And I have a reminder on there to check in if like with you over a certain period of time, like, because that I can't remember that. Or if I believe I will, I won't. And why am I double working myself when I have people who are in the funnel I could nurture, than always just trying to get new people that want to be instant buyers? We do have fast buyers, but there's also long-term nurturers. So a tool like that, a system like that, Cassie, for you could be really game changer too.
Please tell me you use like AI notes or something to put the notes about the call with me in your system. You didn't like, type everything out.
Well, I type live when we're talking too.
Oh, okay.
Because it helps me retain information. And most people don't even know that I'm doing that. But I do also have my note taker that's in here. Fathom is an amazing note taker, and I can go back and ask it questions. So I also link that to the card. So like I can go and say, like, what did Brenda say was what she's working on next? And then I use that as a reminder to then send you a DM and say, hey, Brenda, you were in the process of closing a sale. Did that sale go through? I want to celebrate with you. Tell me how it went. And now you feel that personalization, but I didn't have to remember anything. Because I can barely remember what my kids said to me 5 minutes ago. So going into perimenopause, I think. So we're just gonna blame it on that. I don't know.
There's just so many of them.
I don't even know. It's mom brain. It's something. It's all the things. I'm just, but I love it that I can go back and find some personalization, because that to me is number one for nurturing right now. Is personalized conversations and follow up is game changer for closed leads. Unless you have a really great system for funneling people and you have like you built out nurture systems and email lists, which most people don't. Really that's game changer, especially if you have like a high ticket value, things like that. It's really important. Megan, I love all your facts. You're like, I love your ADHD brain so much, and you're so multifaceted. If you guys have not met Megan yet, she is the coolest, and I love her so much. I love her energy, and whenever I see you around, I'm like, yes.
I'll even add to that too, because I didn't even think I might have had ADHD until menopause hits, because it hits and then it's just like, you can't manage anything anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes.
Sharing that as a cautionary to anybody else that might be coming up towards that.
Yep. I didn't know I had ADHD until my kids got diagnosed with it. I'm like,
oh, you too? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I definitely have sensory processing disorder. I'm definitely self-diagnosed with that. But when my daughters, we went through that process, I was like, oh, that's why I feel that way. So I know. Fun times. Our kids expose a lot of our faults, or not faults. I wouldn't say that's our fault. A lot of our spicy brains. That's what we'll call it. Any other questions, you guys? I hope this was really helpful, practical action. Again, I'm putting it into the podcast, so you can re-listen to it in your earbuds, because I know it's going to be easier to consume. And then the action pack is ready for you to take advantage of as well, and get all those pieces and tools. I mean, it's loaded in there. Between Kate and I lost count of how many things are in that action pack, and we're adding more over the next few weeks. So you're going to get even more fun tools to take action on. So it's all $9. You got on your coaching call with Get Shit Done program. I love it. Yeah, definitely. You'll get an email about the podcast. It's a separate podcast from my normal one, because I really wanted to be like intentional. So it's a secret podcast, but it was fun to record. Anything else from you guys? Any other questions I can support with? And then I'm going to sign off here. Again, thanks for hanging out with me and for being accommodating with all the crazy Zoom passwords and wrong links that got sent out today, as it happens. So hang out with me again. I'm going to be at the end of the month doing a workshop on the summer cash plan. So if cash is still a forefront on how am I making cash this summer, we're going to go even deeper into just the cash part of the conversation. and talk about how to make that into an actionable plan. That'll be at the end of the month. So keep an eye on your inbox or on in our Facebook group, the society. There'll be an event there for that. Another workshop that you can join in, and we'll just keep talking conversations, because my goal is to help you have an amazing, profitable, fun summer. And I hope that you feel inspired right now to take the action. So
And does the action pack include that beautiful Trello
Yes.
board? Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And I walk you through like the questions that you are asking. I go even deeper into how to use it. Show you a little bit more about what it can do for you. There's a training that goes along with it. So you're not just like, here's the board, good luck figuring out what to do with it. So we have that. And then, like I said, we have AI prompts that we've written for ourselves and our team and our clients that we're sharing with you, email templates that you can use and customize, the printable pack from our family fun stuff that we've done for the summer, like the summer bucket list, the calendar, all of those things are in there as well. So I hope you'll take advantage of it, and let me know what you think, or if there's something that you're like, oh, I want more of this, tell me. I would love to hear feedback from you. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up. And again, if you want to also book the summer cash call, if you want to talk more one-on-one, we do have limited spots for that. And I'll put that in here one more time just for you guys. Book a call, let's talk, and let's make summer happen for you and make it fun and profitable. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to check your email for that podcast link and all the other stuff, and I'll see you guys in the Facebook group. Take care.